Communication allows you to explain to someone else what they are experiencing or you are experiencing. What do you need? The act of communicating not only helps to meet your needs, but it also helps you to connect with other persons. In business, communications skills are highly valued in leaders. In case, if you want to talk to your workers, you want to give word to them, how do leaders want to give an instruction without having a good communication level? In relationships, nowadays you can see many heartbreaks, many breakdowns. This is just because of lack of good communications, often cited as the reason. Nowadays, communication stops the inevitable issues which arise in any relationships after simmering under the surface for too long and ended up becoming a toxic. Because you're not talking to anyone, you're not telling anything. So words are important. For me, words are very important. You want to talk about it, paraphrase it properly. But non-verbal communication should not be underestimated too. We are constantly delivering non-verbal cues such as gestures, movements, expressions in our social and business life to deliver a specific message to a specific person. Handshakes, eye-to-eye contact, touching, holding parts, how we are feeling. There is an evidence to suggest that non-verbal communication is more effective than verbal communication in certain situations. To continue the popularity of sign language among deaf people or for those who are hard in hearing demonstrates the importance of visual cues in the practice of communications. Not neglecting the sign language, of course, where deaf or and hard of hearing people are communicating in non-verbal way. But I have a question to you all. Do you all have thought about how our face-to-face interaction with another person is going to be same or not? Despite this COVID-19, our standard operating procedure, our maintaining the social distance between ourselves, between one another. In this time, what role do digital technologies play? And will they ever replace personal face-to-face interactions in near future? Digital communications are expanding our horizons like never before, both for those with or without hearing difficulties. Applications like Facebook, WhatsApp, Skype, FaceTime assist people living far apart, people suffering from hearing difficulties, or people signing to keep in touch and communicate in many ways they couldn't before. Like now, I'm giving a speech, just being in my campus right now, and reaching out to you all. How? Technology, digital communication. But digital communication also has its downsides. When traveling to work, when you are traveling in the Grab, we are looking down to our smartphones, avoiding the conversation when someone has struck up. We avoiding the eye contact. So this is kind of a negative vibes. Social media is also changing nowadays, the way that we relate. While on the other hand, allowing us to connect with more people rapidly, which are knowing them and knowing from other states, other countries, and build up a contacts, find support structures. But on the other hand, social media makes it easy for us to confuse the digital intimacy for true intimacy. We can become so seduced by the ease of connecting with others online that we begin to think that these relationships are more intense, more committed, or more complete than they really are. As now I'm a student, I have so much of assignments. But how do I really cope up with that? Communication. Communicating with my group members, communicating with my lecturers, communicating with my departments. we run the risk of alienating the people who populate our daily lives in pursuit of intimacy with our online friends. Researchers are also finding that while people are communicating more often with their family or friends because of technology, the quality of communication may be weaker. Whereas an email or text imparts key information, but the lack of emotive qualities, the face-to-face interaction, we can see their emotions. You can see the face. What are they smiling? Are they grinning? Are they sad? Or what? A text cannot look into someone's eyes, cannot hug them. You would not have a human contact. There's no intimacy as a basic human needs. The benefits notwithstanding, technology cannot replace this. Apart from that, I would like to share to you all a short story of myself. After a year and a plus being online because of this COVID-19 and online studies, I didn't meet my friends. Finally, I came back to my campus, meeting up my virtual friends. I came up as a facilitator to my juniors' orientation. It's been months of me not communicating with someone in real, and suddenly, other than my family members, of course, seeing them face, it was super awkward for me because I didn't know how to start up a conversation. But I decide whether I'm going to learn or being left out. And now I build up, I live, I'm communicating with them, I literally build up a good bond. So, hereby, I have 5 tips for effective communication across all our relationships. The good news is you can improve your communication skills, but you should learn it. The first one, be honest and open. Being open means talking about things that are important to you, both positive, negative. It means being vulnerable and honest. It means opening yourself up to possible hurts and disappointment, but before letting out, think before you speak. Because you can't paraphrase it after you speak it out. Speak it out in anger maybe, but you speak it out in calm. If you speak it out in calm, means you're thinking. So I'm talking about that. Be honest and open. Don't forget to listen. You want others to listen to you. You want to just blabber stuff. You want to rant your stuff. You want others to listen to you. But you don't want to listen to them. How could you ask them to listen to you next time? Sometimes we forget that communication is all about saying our piece when it's not actually about listening effectively. Just about other person, but also about ourselves. We need to think about ourselves as well. Pay attention to non-verbal signals. Fold arms in front of a people may seem they are feeling defensive. Close off. Lack on eye conversation. Maybe it means things like you're avoiding a conversation. Oh, you're scared. You're shy. You don't want to see their face. Like that. But non-verbal signals can be reveal a lot about a person, how they are feeling. And if you're happy but they are sad, try to mingle up with them. Don't be afraid of long silence. That will be the 4th point. Don't be afraid of the long silence. Human communication involves much more than spoken words. A great deal of being communicated during silence. Unfortunately, it may seem quite uncomfortable to you. But relax. Breathe, chain breaker. Chain the breaker, talk, communicate, build a conversation. Make the place effectively lively. Find a balance in the digital world. This will be the 5th point, which is like find a balance in the digital world. If your partner is away for work, of course, texting is a good way to saying good night or good evening in the sense. But don't make major decisions to avoid where you're having right now. Just imagine I'm in the campus right now. My family is away from me. I can text them anytime I want, that's for sure. But if they're having a conversation, your friends are having a conversation, they really want you to be a part of it. But you're using handphone, you're using a smartphone, you're just literally you're avoiding them. You don't want to avoid them, but literally you're avoiding them because you didn't realize you're avoiding them. So find your balance in there. Because nothing can replace a personal face-to-face conversation for creating a true intimacy. So remind yourself to follow up with these 5 steps if you think it's beneficial. For me, it is, but who knows, you might have a different kind of thoughts. The first one, I'll just repeat it, be open and honest. Second, don't forget to listen. Third, pay attention to non-verbal signs. Fourth, don't be afraid of long silences. Try to break them off. Fifth, find your balance in the digital world. I hope my talk today is quite effective and you might be it's quite nice. I would like to end my speech today by quoting the quote at practice. Communication isn't a barrier if you listen and talk back to their reasons. Communication is the key. Thank you for all listening and cheering up yourselves with me. If time comes to an end, we should definitely meet each other. Thank you to the Students Affairs Department and the Student Representative Council of University of Malaysia Sabah to arrange this live session. Have a great day, you all. Signing off, Aghlan Seperminam. Thank you.